I'm suggesting to you that the reason you didn't do that is either that you knew or you were advised that those actions were being taken under an act of Parliament which empowered the security forces to so do.
The Lord Council, one doesn't want to do that there. To hold any public meeting where you will be searched or otherwise intimidated, one has to confirm.
Could you answer my question, please?
The last lady was be given an opportunity.
No, but he said the same thing over 10 times already, and I asked him that.
Let's be patient rather than that.
You have to have an authority. So if you had an authority, and that authority was present with you at the time, and then at the point where the meeting was being held in research, you very little you can do. You have to just conform with it. That is not stop the meeting.
Okay, that's a meeting. What was your home? You said you were home.
No, but the home is different.
How
The
different?
home or the office is different.
How different? Yes, sir.
Different in the sense that it's an invasion of privacy as you behave. And it's either you resist, or you complain, or you don't complain.
But you never sue the government for that.
No, not so. No.
Let's move on. Now, at that time when you came to Ghana, Gao itself, you follow me?
You'll be following the Ghana Agriculture and General.
Yes, to which she said you were attached. They were involved in matters antagonistic to the state.
If I was aware of that, no.
I'm very sorry, I didn't hear when they were involved in matters.
Antagonistic to the state. They called strikes.
Industrial strike sheets.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
But not, that's
You said-
those strikes weren't antagonistic to the state.
Why do you say that? No. Let's answer the question. Now, those strikes, you recall you telling us that soldiers used to drive through villages in trucks whenever there was a strike in one area, and they went through to different villages. Did you say that?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Now, you recall that 80-day strike? Do you not hear it?
Which English strike council you refer?
Well, you know, you are aware of that strike.
There was a strike that proceeded for a substantial point of period of time. But I don't know somewhere there was an 80-day strike, similar to the 80-day strike of the 60s.
No, we're talking about the 70s. When
Yes.
you came back.
That strike would have been.
And you said you were a Gao.
Yes, but that strike that you referred to in the 70s could well have proceeded beyond 80 days or less than 80 days.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're saying it was a protracted strike by Gao of which you are a member. Isn't that so?
That is correct.
Yes. And you're aware that it was expressed by the leadership of Gao that that strike was intended to cripple the nation.
I'm not aware of it. I'm sorry.
Before aware that they expressed that the strike was intended to destroy the industry.
I'm not aware of it. I'm sorry.
And so, after withdrawing the workers from that industry, are you aware of the government's response to that? To prevent the industry from being crippled.
I know that while the strike was on, there were several attempts at what is called introducing stamps into the industry. That is all I'm aware in the context in which you posed the question.
Okay, being
Scabs meaning
being someone who was employed
who is not employed as a sugar worker normally.
No, I was happy. I think I shadowed the labor portfolio. But the point is, you understand Chinese people who volunteered to go into the sugar fields and cut the cane so that the industry would not last. Isn't that what you're talking? You understand?
That is your interpretation, Council.
Could you answer my question?
That is your interpretation.
Mr. Chair, I'm not
But
going
if
to
it was answered, I thought I asked something recorded. He said that's your interpretation.
Yes, but you're not answering the question. I'm answering a simple question. The staffs you're talking about, are they people?
Yes.
Are they people who have their offices, their homes, to go and help cut the nation's sugar?
But I'm not aware whether they left their homes.
You're not aware of that?
No, I'm not. I wasn't part of it. I wasn't part of that contingent, that group of persons. Some of them were also digital persons.
But you want to aware of anything else in this field?
I was not part of it. I could not be part of the recommendation.
It seems clear that the law, Mr. Williams is not allowing this witness to answer questions. Earlier, he was attempting to define what a scab was. He was prevented from doing so by Mr. Williams. Then he was asked what the scab was, and then he was again prevented from giving his own interpretation of what the scab was. And Mr. Williams keeps interrupting the witness when he's trying to explain. I don't think it's fair to the witness.
Madam Chair, I don't know. When counsel had custody of the witnesses, I've never interrupted him. What is counsel afraid of? You can't change history. This is history.
You know, I think it's objective was the fact that perhaps there will be with the speed that I'm trying to prevent it from hiding the
But I know we will record it. I know we will record it.
perhaps you need to go on the floor.
I'm advising. Now, in that strike, during that strike, the contractor strike, were there measures taken to destroy cane, the sugar cane in the field?
Not that I'm aware of.
And you work with Gao?
Yes, I work with Gallup.
The nation will know. And were you aware of that technique of soaking a cat in gasoline and then lighting the fire and losing the sugar fields?
I'm not aware of that. What I do know is answer to your question about perhaps sabotage.
Okay.
Was that from time to time, to undermine the sugar workers' capacity to earn what was called out of work, out of season bonuses, there will be acts of arson. But no one knew who it was. It could have been anyone.
Mr. Chair, I don't know. I don't have the protection of the inquiry. I'm asking a question and the witness is going on in front of his own with his questions. I just want an answer to my question. I behaved pretty nicely with this witness. I'm sure everyone knows. But he just tried the witness answered all the questions that he was asked by counsel for the inquiry without fuss, without let or hindrance. He wanted all kinds of information. I'm simply answering questions and he doesn't want to cooperate.
I didn't say that way, Doctor. It has been my experience that counsel can control his questions. But once you ask them, you can't control the response you get.
No, I'm answering specific questions. No, we know that, but I'm asking, is he aware that there would be stabilizing acts during that strike? Cuts that sugarcane was destroyed by accident. I gave him one example. So cuts a cat in gasoline, lighting a fire, and losing it into the sugar fields. I'm asking if he's aware of that. That's the only answer yes, I'm answering. Yes or no? But the lot is going on in the area, and if I have to stop it, to look at those where we're doing something wrong.
I'm advised that we have a report here that he said no.
He said no substrate. After a long time.
No, his first answer, counsel, you asked him about soaking cats in gas, because you know, letting like those in the field. His answer was no. Then he paused, and he said, read acts of sabotage, re-sabotage. And your response was yes, these acts of sabotage. And then he went on to say there were acts of arson, but no money used.
Yes, but those were the questions I answered.
I told you exactly what was going on.
Yes, but all I'm asking is that the witness just respond to my question and he could volunteer whatever he wishes if he's re-examined. That's all I'm asking. Otherwise, you're going to have difficulties. And might have, I would have to make him answer the questions I wish him to answer.
Well, it might be useful for your questions to be single focus on the guide one thing and guide them for the witness to try to be something that he can respond.
Yes, I'm glad by you, Mr. Chairman. Now, but let's continue. Now, as a result of arson in the sugar industry and the sugar fields, what was the state's response?
I won't be able to answer that question, counsel, because I was not working for the state. I was engaged with GAO.
Thank you very much. Now, you are working with the state when you get evidence before this inquiry about the GDF activities, about the police activities.
Did you say I was working with the state?
I'm asking you that.
I was not working with the state, no.
So how come you give evidence about the force?
I think
GDF, police, national service, GPM.
counsel, if you consult what I said, I was working with the Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture is an arm of the government. It is not a state apparatus, not a state entity.
That's not, I haven't asked you a thing about agriculture. My question to you is, were you working with the police force?
No.
Were you working with GDF?
No.
So, Ghana National Service and GPM. So how come you give evidence related to their activities?
This is because in the course of my employment, I had associations of some kind, at some level, at some time, with either the Ghana Police Force, the Ghana Defense Force, or the Ghana National Service.
Now, this is my question to you. Did you see any response to the burning of the cane fields by the GDF, the police, or whatever you talk about?
No.
So the state allowed the cane to just burn, maybe burn.
I wouldn't be in a position to say, Conrad, I wasn't part of the state.
I am putting it to you that your testimony is untrue. As a worker for GALU, you would know that the state had to deploy forces to protect the cane fields.
What aspect of his testimony you suggested?
That he doesn't know that the police had to go and had to respond by going into the cane fields to prevent accidents. He knows that.
This is not so counsel.
Okay, well, as I said,
This is not going to be disputed.
you give evidence
This is a
about GALU.
contentious issue that is being introduced by counsel.
You give evidence about GALU, not me. You said you work with GALU. During that period, you acknowledged it was a protracted strike. That strike, the Guyanese people had to leave their offices, leave their homes, and support the government, but to prevent the industry from collapsing by cutting cane. That's what I put it to you.
That's a new thing you're putting there now.
No, I put it today. He said he didn't know whether they left their homes before or whether they left before. I know what I put it there. I have my questions are here written down. See, I did the way this guy escaped.
What is your answer to that? You asked this before.
My answers learned chairman of the commission, is that I don't know of the insulated acts that the council is putting to me. I was not engaged with the state. If I was engaged in the state at some level, I worked with the Ministry of Agriculture and with my own. So I couldn't answer these questions, so I said no.
I know that a lot of people are past time asking you if you would not be aware, being a member of that, which would not strike, that civilians had to leave their workplaces, leave their homes, and go into those cane fields and cut cane. And I was one.
I told you I was not aware of them leaving their homes or offices. What I do know was that persons who were described as cabs were sent into cane fields to cut the cane or harvest it whilst the strike was in process.
Okay,
that's all I know.
Okay, do you believe that the state should have taken any action to prevent the decimation of the cane fields and the sugar industry at the time?
Could you repeat that question, Councilman?
Do you believe the state should have taken any action to prevent the cane fields from being burnt and the industry from being decimated?
As part of law enforcement, yes. As part of law enforcement, it was against the law, yes.
And you agree that was an element of the atmosphere in the run-up to 1978?
I don't know if that was an element in the aspect of the run-up to 1978. What I do know, and I mean quite forthright, is that the strike that we fronted, the protracted strike, was a strike which Gao was engaging for union recognition. And that union recognition strike did not involve, and that's why I'm saying I don't know, burning of cane fields. I'm not saying cane fields weren't burnt. Yes, cane fields were burnt. They were burnt for different reasons, for harvesting and as sabotage. But Gao was engaged in a strike for union recognition that did not involve these incidents which you put into me. That's why I'm saying I don't know.
No, what you're saying, there was Gao was in a fight for recognition?
Engaged in a strike for union recognition, yes.
Why are you saying that?
This is because it happened.
Oh. And so, what year was this?
Gao was engaged in a strike for union recognition beginning up to 1976. Subsequently, Gao was engaged in a strike, a protracted strike together with NASI and other unions. A protracted strike.
So, you are not saying, are you aware, that when the bauxite industry was nationalized in 1970,
71.
isn't that around the same time as one of the demands of the PPP that Gao would gain its recognition at the expense of the MPCA?
These are
The one.
the PPP did make good demands even before 1971. The PPP had one union recognition for workers in the sugar industry in an ad hoc way. It wasn't accepted. But the bulk of workers supported Gao.
I'm asking a specific question.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You're using abbreviations. You refer to Gao and another.
Merci.
No, not me. I have referred to NASI.
You counsel.
Yes.
Thank you. You refer to Gao and you refer to another organization.
Yes.
Could you assist me?
Yes, Manpower, I think it's the Manpower Citizens Association, which was in fact the recognized union in the industry at the time. But I don't know if I should ask the witness that might.
Thank you very much, Council.
You're aware that the MPCA was in fact the one that was recognized?
The MPCA was a union, yes, that was recognized.
Officially?
At that time.
No, I'm saying that one of the conditions of the PPP agreeing to a two-thirds majority for the nationalization of the bauxite industry was that concession to let Gao be the union that was recognized in the sugar industry.
I would deny that. I would deny it.
And therefore that strike, prolonged strike, done in late 1970 had nothing to do with revolution. And put it that way.
The prolonged strike that I'm referring to took place after 1976. That was a strike that involved GAMU, NASI, and other organized workers.
You talking the same thing when the scouts were employed?
Yes.
All right. Now, we have to let you understand each other.
I'm sorry, yes, sisters with Nancy.
National Association of Commercial
And
and Developers and
workers.
Workers.
Employees. Employees.
Thank you.
So, that was PPP action, because you will agree with me that GAMU was the arm of the PPP up to the day.
The Ghana Industrial Workers Union is affiliated to the PPP. I don't know if it's an arm, but you have to say it's a political entity. It's a trade union. It is an industrial union.
You were telling this commission about which bodies were armed, which people were armed. So you say you're not aware that GAMU is an arm, the trade union arm of the People's Progressive Party. You say that?
The People's Progressive Party is a political entity council. GAMU is an industrial trade union. It is affiliated to the PPP.
All right, now let's move on. Then comes Walter Rodney and the WP on the back of that. You agree? That was the scenario in which Walter Rodney entered.
Yes, post 74.
All right, let's move on. We're going to make some progress. You will admit that at that time, and at all the three times, the PPP was the main opposition party in Ghana at the time.
Yes, since 1968, in opposition, yes.
And you would further agree that the PPP never ceased, CEASED, their political activities in terms of gaining the reins of government in Ghana. At the time.
Yes, I'm aware, yes. Affirmative.
So that it was not only the working people vanguard party or whatever you can doing political work, etc. I must say, I must confess to myself, I was quite unreal. And you now have the WP, doctors with many leaders, many heads, entering the field. Would you not therefore say that the PNC was under siege?
In terms of coalition, political coalition, yes. Because I'm not accepting what you say, it was just the PDP and the WP. There were a number of other parties. But in terms of what you just said, yes, it considered itself on the siege.
Your brother believed, and the new academic elite at that time, that the government at the time should go.
I'm sorry, you were still at university once you had become.
In the 1970s,
Oh, in the 70s.
that's a period.
Okay, thank you.
I must say, in tiny Europe, I never even met Dr. Walter. Yes.
I don't think he's answered that yet.
No, he hasn't.
If you refer to the period of 1974, or referring to the period of 1977, I would like to be specific. Before I answer.
Let's take it back.
No, are you referring to 1974 when the WPA had even formed itself as yet and was based on a coalition, or are you referring to 1978-79 after Rodney said that the government must go by all means?
Well, that is the period we know up to 78, 79.
Okay.
He talks about Gao and PPP. They remain opposition party. They had political activities, you had strikes, all those things. Then into that entered the WPA. Dr. Rodney and his academic team. Dr. Omowale, everybody was an doctor.
Before we sit down, step in.
Yes. You agree that? Dr. Walter Rodney, Dr. Omowale, Dr. Rupert Narai, all the right ones.
I want to answer that question because what you're implying is that the Working People's Alliance, which was based on a coalition of parties and groups, was just Dr. Rodney and the academic elite.
No, I'm not suggesting that. What I gave you was vague illustrations. It
But that illustration comes with false.
It wasn't exhaustive. I'm saying to you that they were among the three. They were among, those three were among the activists.
Yes,
of the
they were.
WPA.
Yes, they were.
And as I said earlier, they were very sure that Forbes Burnham and his government were holding.
They were very sure that Forbes Burnham and his government were
past their time, they were obsolete.
They were certain it was a dictatorship and it should be overthrown.
Well, can we say that? Yes.
So I was just wondering whether the downtown and did it you of the city.
No, sir. I was waiting, sir. Your deliberations there. So you're in Holland. Yes. Now, they thought that they had the new thinking about how a country should be run and governed.
They had a constitution, yes. Very good question. They had a constitution. Not what they thought. They formulated a structure, a strategy.
And I would want to say that certainly by their public utterances, they never evinced any respect for President Burnham and his government at the time.
I would like you, before I answer the question, to define what you mean by respect.
You just answer the question, the best you could. You've been doing that all the time.
I would say, in answer to your question, no. No. Meaning that
They had or they had not any respect?
they didn't have respect for him. He was head of state. He controlled the army. How can you not have respect for an authority?
But they wanted him to go. They said,
Right,
they
that's correct.
said he must go
That is correct.
by any means necessary.
Correct, that's true.
But you understood those words to me that you should go by any means necessary.
I understood it to mean that either by electoral needs or by extra electoral needs. either by electoral means or extra or beyond electoral means.